All right, guys, we are here for the decision day of none other than Group. Excuse me. What group is this? It is Group E. Germany will play Ecuador. Ivory Coast will play Curacao. All four teams. I mean, Germany are already qualified. All four teams still have something to play for. Germany wants to make sure they top the group, which they've already topped the group because if the only person that can, get level with them on points is Ivory Coast, and they already beat Ivory Coast. So Germany has already topped the group. Everybody else is fighting for second and potentially third place. So we're going to be covering both teams, Germany versus Ecuador and Ivory Coast versus Curacao. I think it would be incredibly cool for Curacao to make it out of this group in third place, but realistically, guys, I can't see them beating Ivory Coast. Now, Ivory Coast only needs a draw here to get through. If they draw with Curacao, they've got 4 points and they're almost certainly through. Ecuador needs to beat Germany today to have a chance of getting out of this group. A draw is not good enough for Ecuador. A loss is definitely not. And Ecuador have kind of underachieved in this tournament, right? I mean, they didn't look very good. They looked good against Ivory Coast, right? And so that was kind of cool for Ecuador. But then, man, drawing with Curacao felt bizarre, right? So we'll see what Ecuador does. But a draw with Curacao kind of really hurt them in this group. So we'll see what happens here. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for Germany versus Ecuador first. All right, so this is Ecuador versus Germany. For Germany, Manuel Neuer in goal. They've made a few changes. Actually, they've only made one change, and that's at left back, right? I mean, Rudiger is on for Schlotterbeck, who's injured, but Manuel Neuer in goal. The back four is Joshua Kimmich, Antonio Rudiger, Jonathan Tah, and David Raum. Then in the midfield double pivot continues with Alexander Pavlovich and Felix Mecha. Florian Wirtz on the left, Leroy Sané on the right, Jamal Musiala at the 10, and Kai Havertz as the striker. Now for Ecuador, they've got Galindez in goal, Hernan Galindez, Piero Hincapié, William Pacho, and Ordonez. Joel Ordonez are the back three. Angulo from Sunderland, Nilson Angulo is on the left wing, and John Yeboah from Venezia is on the right. Moises Caicedo is the captain in midfield, and he'll be alongside Alan Franco, as well as Pedro Vite from Pumas. Then up top, Gonzalo Plata, forgive me, it's not Joao, from Flamengo will start up top next to the evergreen Ener Valencia, who is still starting for Ecuador at 36 years old. Ecuador, it's not looking good, guys, for them. I mean, I'm hoping they can maybe do something today, but look at this table, guys. They've got 1 point. That's crazy. They have scored 0 goals in 2 games and conceded 1 to the Ivory Coast. They're built on a very solid defense, but they haven't been able to score goals. So let's see what they do today against Germany, who put out a very strong lineup, considering that they're already qualified in first. They put out an extremely strong lineup. It's pretty much a full first team. David Raum at left back versus, what's his name? Oh my God, how am I forgetting this guy's name? He's been playing for them this whole time. You know who I'm talking about, the American. That's not really a drop-off in quality, right? So it's pretty much the same thing. Germany is respecting Ecuador's defense. Yeah, good. Nathaniel Brown, thank you. Duh, how do I miss Nathaniel Brown's name? So Germany still put out a very, very strong lineup, despite the fact that they're already qualified in first. And I wonder, what's his name said, the coach said, look, they haven't played a lot together. So this is a good opportunity to continue to build chemistry, basically. Still not an opportunity for Dennis Undav. I think this is the team that he's sticking with, and he's going to stick with it. Let's go look at Curacao versus Ivory Coast lineup. For Ivory Coast, they have Fofana in goal, back four of Doué, Kosonu, Diomande and Operi. Now, that is not the Diomande that you know. This is Usman Diomande from Sporting Club de Portugal. On the right wing, they have Amad Diallo from Manchester United, of course, Frank Kessie from Al Ahly, and Ibrahim Sangare from Nottingham Forest, and then Diomande from RB Leipzig, of course. Jan Diomande, the 19-year-old, is at the left wing. And up top, you have Anjoan Boni from Inter Milan and Nicolas Pepe from Villarreal. For Curacao, Elroy Room is in goal. Leandro, which Bacuna is it? Leandro Bacuna here is their captain. Juninho Bacuna from the Dutch league is there as well. Jurgen Locadia from Miami FC will be their striker. Tahith Chong from Sheffield United is their right winger. And the other midfielder is Livano Comenencia from FC Zurich. So a lot of European-based players. The back four is Joshua Brené from Kayserispor. The back three is Urian Gatti from Team ABBA. No idea where that is. Armando Obispo from PSV Eindhoven, of course. Sherelle Floranus from PEC Zwolle. And at left back, Deveron Fonville from NEC Nijmegen. So a lot of Dutch league players here. Elroy Room, not so much. Miami FC guy. But still a decent team. Can they give Ivory Coast a run for their money after stealing a point off of Ecuador? That is the big question. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling about the U.S. game tonight? Obviously, we have the USA versus Turkey later today. Anyone resting and getting ready for that game? I'm going to be watching both Knife the Great. I'm going to be watching on the TV. I've got Germany versus Ecuador, and then on the iPad, I have Ivory Coast versus Curacao. So we'll see how they go. All three teams can still advance in third. All three teams have something to play for. Nobody is out in this group. I think that'll make that extra interesting. This Germany lineup is making me think USMNT will start everyone besides the people on yellow cards. I don't think so because Poch already hinted that there was going to be some changes. He already confirmed the yellow card guys are not going to start. He was like, we have to be careful about that. I don't want a situation where you're on the field not playing as hard because you don't want to get a yellow card, right? So he already confirmed that, and then he said, and there are other players that deserve opportunities as well. So I think we will see a heavily rotated team for this game. When is the last time we beat a UEFA team at the World Cup? Hasn't it been a while? I would say 2002. Right? Because in 2014, we drew with Portugal, we lost to Germany, and we lost to Belgium. Right? In 2022, we didn't beat Wales or England, and we lost to the Netherlands. In 2010, we played Algeria, England, and I can't remember what the other team was. I don't remember. One of you guys help me out. Who was the third team in our 2010 group? In 2006, we played the Czech Republic and Italy and won neither of those games. I'd say the last time was 2002 when we beat Portugal 3-2 in the first game of the group stage. That would be my guess, unless I'm wrong about 2010. It was Slovakia. That's right. It was Slovakia, and we didn't beat Slovakia. Slovenia, that's what it was. Slovenia, not Slovakia. Thank you. Slovenia, yeah, we drew with Slovenia, we drew with England, and we beat Algeria. So yeah, in a World Cup, we haven't beaten a UEFA team since 2002. So tonight's an opportunity to change that record. All right, guys, it's going to be fun. Ecuador versus Germany. I'm very surprised that Nagelsmann put out a full starting lineup. I thought he would rest and rotate, but maybe he values cohesion and chemistry at this point with this German team. So we'll see. Was the Portugal team good besides the big name players? I mean, they were a very good team player-wise. They just didn't play well together and ended up losing. They didn't get out of that group. Remember, it was the South Korea and the US that got out of that group. Poland and Portugal flopped out. Any Germany players on a yellow? That's a great question, and I don't actually know the answer to that. I wonder if it will say it in the commentary here. Oh, this is the Ivory Coast one. Let me check out the Germany one. Ecuador versus Germany has kicked off, by the way. Let me see this Germany if it says who's on a yellow card. I don't think it. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say who's on a yellow card, but some of you in the chat might know. All right, so the Germany-Ecuador game kicked off slightly before the Curacao-Ivory Coast game. Ecuador clearing their lines after a long ball from Germany. Luca, I don't think we're going to do that because Poch has already said that there's going to be some rotation. So I don't think we're going to put out our first lineup. I don't think we're going to put out our first 11 at all. Maybe 2 or 3 guys from the starting 11, but mostly rotated. That's my guess. Could Curacao still get second place? Oh, yeah, absolutely they could. Oh, cleared. Curacao could get second place. Look at this table here. If Curacao win, they get 4 points. If Ivory Coast lose, Curacao and Ecuador, well, no. Yes, if Curacao beat the Ivory Coast, they would have 4 points. If Germany draws or beats Ecuador, oh my God, Germany already scored. Oh my God, Germany already scored. Leroy Sané. Wow, Ecuador is down so bad, man. That's not good. 2 minutes in, and Ecuador has already conceded. They couldn't score goals, but at least they could defend. But so far, I have not seen them defending at all. Ecuador players are protesting something. We'll see what it is. Oh, they're saying high boot on Kai Havertz. That is a very high boot. That's a very high boot. We'll see what the referee says. Oh, I know he got the ball, but it is still a high. Yeah, that's a high boot. No. Yeah, that's a high boot, guys. That's not going to stand. I would be very surprised. Oh, it's Pavlovic, not Havertz. Just go to VAR, guys. Just go to VAR. Yeah, they're going to go to VAR, it looks like. No? Are they not going to VAR? Come on. Good pass here by Wirtz to Sané. Good finish by Sané. No VAR? That's surprising. Dang. That is a high boot. That was over his head, and he was standing up straight. Man, Ecuador feels like they're robbed there. Ecuador, like, that's, man, I don't think that should have counted. Right now, Ivory Coast seeing a lot of the ball against Curacao as expected. All right. Funny how Canada, thank you, Edgar Castillo. Funny how Canada may end up getting the easiest round of 32 game for finishing second, Lamau, South Africa. Meanwhile, Mexico gets toughest, in my opinion, probably Scotland. We'll see about Scotland, right? Scotland has to hope that 4 other third place teams perform worse than them in order for them to make it in. But yeah, that is a relatively easy draw for Canada to get South Africa. For sure it is. Free kick for Germany. Ivory Coast are in. Cleared away. Curacao managed to clear the danger early on. Germany have a free kick from deep. Come on, Curacao. You can do this. I believe in you. The thing is, if Curacao win today, then Ivory Coast may not qualify because they only have 3 points, right? They only have 3 points and they have a 0 goal difference. So it would become a minus goal difference. They would still be ahead of Scotland. If Ivory Coast lose by 1 goal or 2 goals even, they would still be ahead of Scotland with 3 points and a better goal difference. Germany looking like they're going to do something here again. Wow. It's brave of Nagelsmann to put out his full starting 11 pretty much. Everyone available is playing, except for Nathaniel Brown. But Nathaniel Brown, David Raum is a toss-up. They're both very good left backs. Man, what I wouldn't give for that kind of depth. I don't understand how that's not a foul. They're re-showing it now on VTech. His boot literally goes over his head and then claws his face on the way down. Claws his face on the way down. A draw is not enough for Curacao today. They would only have 2 points, and a draw would be enough for Ivory Coast to go through, especially if Ecuador lose. Ivory Coast would get second with 4 points. And then if I'm Scotland, Scotland wants both Curacao and Ecuador to lose because then the third place would have 2 points. I don't know why VAR didn't call it. That's a high boot, stud showing, contact to the face. Oh my God, terrible clearance by Ecuador. Shot blocked. Pete, has the USMNT played their most complete best game? Look, definitely against Paraguay so far has been our most complete game in terms of the way we played and the chances we created and the way we ran through them pretty effortlessly. Oh my God, Ivory Coast scored. Oof. The big names showing up. Ecuador and Curacao both down. And if I'm Scotland, I'm absolutely loving this. If I'm Scotland or South Korea, I'm actually loving this. South Korea also have 3 points, right? Sucks for Curacao, but they're now down 1-0. And Ecuador is down 1-0 to Germany, and we're only 6-7 minutes into each game. So that's not good for either of those teams. But for South Korea and Scotland, who both got third in their group, it's excellent. Because that means from this group, their third place finish would only have 1 point. 6-7. Yeah. But, early days, let's see what happens here. A point is not enough for Ecuador. Ecuador has to score 2 on Germany. And for a team that hasn't scored any goals in the tournament so far, I don't know if I can see that happening. Curacao as well, man. That's tough. They lost 7-1 to Germany. But they need 4 points here. Oh, here comes Ecuador. They won the ball in the attacking half. Shot, goal. Oh, Ecuador scored 1-1. Wow. They waited how long for their first World Cup goal? 188 minutes before they score their first World Cup goal, and it's against Germany. And now life is breathed into Ecuador again. They have a real shot. A win here today, and they qualify out of the group. A win here today, and they qualify out of the group. I don't know why. Was it Pavlovic who gave that away, or was it Jonathan Tah? I want to see this again. Oh, yeah, it was Nemecha. It was Nemecha who gave that away. Ooh, that's not good. Got a little bit of a deflection, but Ecuador will not care. It's 1-1, and Germany's stunned here. Oh, no, it didn't get a deflection. It went right through his legs. That's a great goal. A nutmeg goal. Wow. A nutmeg goal. Wow. Ecuador is still alive. They still have a chance here. 1 point won't be enough because that'll only get them 2 points. But if they can win today, they will qualify out of the group because there's already 2 groups that the third place is on 3 points. right? So they basically, if you have 4 points, you're golden. You're very likely golden with 4 points. So Germany conceded their third goal of the tournament. They actually have not been that solid defensively, right? They conceded to Curacao. They conceded to Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast had quite a few chances, actually, that they spurned. And now they concede against Ecuador, who hasn't scored a goal yet. Germany's defense leaves something to be desired here. All right, it is 1-1. Let me pull the score up for this Germany-Ecuador game, guys, so you guys can follow along. It is 1-1 right now between Ecuador and Germany. And Germany have another free kick now on the left. Kimmich lofts it in. Ecuador clear. Schlotterbeck injured, out of the World Cup. Is he out of the World Cup, or is it just a minor injury? Yeah, I saw Amad Diallo just put one wide as well. Oh, Ecuador can't clear. Cross goes in. Pacho clears it. It's going to be a long night for Ecuador. They have to open up too because they need a win. They need a win to qualify. Alex Kevin says he is out 6 to 8 weeks. Oh, dang. Yeah, that's rough. Wait, let me send Tack the I'm going to send Tack the link. I forgot to send it to him. All right, here comes Germany. Yeah, Curacao had a couple of good moments. Ecuador gives this, clears it. Ecuador living dangerously here. I think we're going to see a lot of Germany on the ball, and then Ecuador just trying to counterattack whenever they can. They're not really built to counterattack, though. They don't really have the pace to counterattack. They're better off pressing, especially this German back line. They can make mistakes. Does this game affect the USA's bracket? I would say no, because Bosnia got 4 points. That means the only way the US doesn't play Bosnia is if Bosnia is not the top 8 third place teams. Now, there are already 2 groups with a third place team behind Bosnia, right? That is South Korea and what was the other one? Scotland. South Korea and Scotland are already behind Bosnia. So that means Bosnia only has to be the best out of, let me do my math right here. Best out of 8. So basically 8 out of 10 for Bosnia, right? I think it's very unlikely that, Germany dragged it just wide. Very, very unlikely that Bosnia doesn't qualify. I would say 99.9% chance Bosnia qualifies, and then we play them in the round of 32 on July 1st. Because already you have 2 teams behind Bosnia, right? So out of the 3 teams that have played so far, there are 3 teams behind Bosnia. We will know by game time tonight that we are playing them. Yeah, it depends here, right? If Ecuador gets a win here, they'll have 4 points. And they will have a better goal difference than Bosnia, I think. Yeah, because Ecuador's goal difference is currently -1. Bosnia's goal difference was -2, I believe. Curacao with a shot that's dragged just wide. So rooting for Ecuador to not win so we can play Bosnia. Well, it's not that simple. Even if Ecuador wins, there's still a very good chance we play Bosnia. Because 4 points, I think, gets you qualified. Considering 2 third-place teams have already only hit 3 points, Scotland and South Korea, it's Scotland and South Korea that need to worry, right? Realistically, those are the ones that should be worried. Everybody on 4 points can relax. So Ecuador should qualify with a win here. Germany playing head tennis in the middle. Curacao pressing Ivory Coast. Pete, would you be disappointed with the U.S. loss tonight, even with our B team playing? Oh, yeah, of course. It's a World Cup. You want to win every game. We also need to keep the momentum and the confidence going. We need to keep the casuals engaged. Absolutely, I'd be disappointed with a loss. You always play to win. It's also a World Cup. It's not a friendly. It's a World Cup. We have to go win another World Cup game. Let's make history. Let's get 9 points in the group. That's the first time that would ever happen in history for the U.S., right? Every win at a World Cup is a step towards progress and growth, the growth of the game in this country, and more USMNT fans and more kids getting inspired to play soccer at younger ages, more sponsors and advertisers looking to, get involved with soccer. Like we're not going to change the sport overnight in America. It's incremental, right? It's incremental. The World Cup's a big moment, but even within the World Cup, there are incremental moments of progress that we want to see, right? And getting 9 points, perfect record in the group stage is a great, great start. Would be the first time to ever get 7 points, too. Yeah, for sure. 7 points would also be very good, but 9 points would be a perfect record. Very perfect record. Very few teams ever get a perfect record at the World Cup. So far, Mexico has done it. That's it in this World Cup. Let's see how many teams do it, right? England can't do it. The Netherlands can't do it. The only other team that could do it potentially is France. It could potentially be France, the USA, and Germany, technically, right? Germany, France, not Norway, because if either Norway or France, right? Norway could do it or France could do it, but they can't both do it because they place each other. Oh, yeah, and Argentina, right? So Argentina could do it, France could do it, Norway could do it, Mexico has done it, the US could do it, Germany could do it. You know who can't do it? Spain can't do it. Portugal can't do it. The Netherlands can't do it. Belgium can't do it. Brazil can't do it. Oh, yeah, and Colombia too. That's right. Colombia got 2 wins. Right? So we would be in very good company. Morocco can't do it. Senegal definitely can't do it. England can't do it. Unk, how did you think Mexico looked yesterday? I actually didn't watch the game yesterday. I didn't watch it, so I didn't see how they did. But thanks for the unk. Cape Verde can't do it. I just want to top the group, says K Plum. I mean, we've already topped the group. Oh, you're talking about England. Okay, yeah, England has topped the group. Or has not. No, they haven't topped the group. Technically. Turkey can't do it. Yeah, did Mora look good? I hope he becomes a really good player, but I hope he leaves Liga MX and goes to Europe so he can fulfill his full potential. Cambodia can't. All right, Germany versus Ecuador, guys. It's 1-1. Meanwhile, Ivory Coast are up 1-0 over Curacao. Throw in for Ecuador here. Jesse Marsh couldn't do it. Exactly. No, Germany can do it. Germany got 2 wins. If they win here today, then they'll also have a perfect record. Germany clearing their lines here, but Ecuador win it back. Curacao really trying to create something against Ivory Coast, but they keep losing it in the final third. Hey. Ecuador really pushing into the attack now. What is Plata doing? Cross, block. That'll be a corner for Ecuador. What is your score prediction for USA Turkey? My score prediction is 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. Corner, Neuer punches it out. This has to be the last World Cup for both Neuer and Kimmich. And probably also Rudiger. Isn't Rudiger like 33? Let me see how old Rudiger is. Rudiger is 33, so he would be 37 at the next World Cup. Not impossible, but unlikely, I would say. Let's see how old Jonathan Tah is. Jonathan Tah is only 30, so he could still be there at the next World Cup. But for Rudiger, for Kimmich, and definitely for Neuer, it's finished. This is their last World Cup. Let's see how old Kimmich is. I think Kimmich is like 35. Oh, he's only 31. But I would be surprised. Maybe. You never know. He's 31. It's possible he could play in the next World Cup, but he'd be 35. We'll see. It's possible. I'd say for Rudiger and Neuer for sure. It's the last World Cup. For Curaçao's goalie, Elroy Room, it's probably the last World Cup as well. Ecuador having a lot of the ball right now. Cross is cleared, but Ecuador steals it back because Ram wouldn't clear it. What on earth was that about? Germany really sitting in a low block now while Ecuador probe. Here comes Ivory Coast. Shot right in the face of the Curacao defender. Oof, that's gotta hurt. Oh, Ecuador through. No, that's not a penalty. He got the ball. Sane. Yeah, he got the ball. He got the ball. It's not a penalty. No Rudiger means a spot for Noah Kai Banks, hoping Rudiger stays on the team. No, but before Noah Kai Banks, first of all, they still have Schlotterbeck, they still have Jonathan Tah, and they still have a few other players as well. So I wouldn't worry about that. There's also, what's his name, who used to be on Milan? There's another player who used to be on another center back on Milan. But Germany also has Finn Jelch, who's a starter at Stuttgart as a teenager, and Karim Koulibaly from Werder Bremen, who's probably going to Bayern. Tia, thank you, Malik Tia. Malik Tia is still not that old, right? So Schlotterbeck is 26, right? Malik Tia is 24. Okay, so Schlotterbeck is 26, Tia is 24, Jonathan Tah is 29. So they're all good for the next cycle, all three of them. Then you add in Finn Jelch and Karim Koulibaly, two teenage center backs that are starting in the Bundesliga, both of whom have played better than Noah Kai Banks. The chances of Noah Kai Banks getting a call-up, Germany had her easily caught by Galindo. Tia is trash. Yeah, but Tia is still better than Noah Kai Banks. You could say he's trash all you want, but Malik Tia is still better than Noah Kai Banks. Noah Kai Banks was also benched for Augsburg. What's my time? My time on the Germany game is 25:08, 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh my God, Ecuador steals the ball. Ener Valencia's got no pace. You're not a young man anymore, Ener. Throw in for Ecuador. Yeah, Germany are giving the ball away in very goofy places. Very goofy places. This Ecuador press is really working on Germany right now. Here they come again. They stole it off Germany yet again. Haven't created much, but they're definitely doing a lot in terms of possession and winning the ball back in the counter press. If Curacao draws and Ecuador loses for some reason, does Curacao technically advance to the knockouts? No, because if they draw, they would only have 2 points. They're not making it to the knockouts. Wait a minute. Yeah, they'd have 2 points. They would be third place on 2 points, right? Even if Ecuador loses, Ivory Coast would have 4 points. So Ivory Coast would get second, right? And then Curacao would get third. But third on 2 points ain't going anywhere. You're not qualifying on 2 points. Impossible. Oh, yeah, there's also Valdemar Anton. I completely forgot about Anton. That's another difficult one to compete with. Valdemar Anton is also only 29, so he'll be around for the next cycle, right? Yeah, so if you've got, let's say Rudiger's done. You still got Nico Schlotterbeck, Jonathan Tah, Valdemar Anton, and Malik Tia. That's 4 prime, in their prime center backs, or entering their prime, or before their prime. That's 4. Then you add Finn Jeltz and Kareem Koulibaly. That's 6 center backs. Where does Noah Kai Banks fit in? And that's assuming no other young center backs come through for Germany that might be better than Noah Kai Banks. It's so stupid. I mean, I don't care what the German FA tells you, because who knows if Nagelsmann is even going to be with Germany after this World Cup. What if the new coach has zero interest in you and now you've turned down the opportunity to play, in a home World Cup for your country of birth that you represented at youth level? So you're going to give all of that up for a chance to maybe be the 7th place center back for Germany? I mean, do what you want, bro, but might regret it later. So Ivory Coast here, getting down the line. He's through. That can't get the cross off. That'll be a corner for Ivory Coast. Pete, who do you want the U.S. to develop as our goalkeeper after the World Cup? Is it Chris Brady or Diego Cochin? I mean, I think Cochin has a much higher ceiling, right? Let's see how Matt Freese does in the knockouts, right? We have to see what he looks like against other World Cup opposition because he's still young enough to be involved, but obviously he's got a limited ceiling, right? If you can get, if Diego Cochin starts playing well for Lyngby, even though it's the Danish Super League, I say you call him up. Chris Brady should continue to be in the call-ups. Maybe a guy like Brian Schweik for Nashville. I have not seen him play, to be very clear. So I don't know how good he is, but a lot of people are saying he's been lights out for Nashville this season. Maybe Nashville fans, if there's any Nashville fans in the chat, you can enlighten us. But yeah, there's those 3 that we need to be looking at. And then there's some younger options that we have to monitor their progress, whether that's Andrew Rick or Duran Ferri or Giorgio De Marzi or Zach Campagnolo or William Laudmel. Most of those guys are not playing pro minutes yet. I mean, Duran Ferre's played a lot of minutes for San Diego this season, but most of them are still in the academies, right? So we have to wait for them to become professionals before we start calling them up. But good on Diego Cochin if he makes this move, if it's confirmed to go to Lyngby, right? Let's see how he does. Julian Chabot was really good for Stuttgart this season. Who's Julian Chabot? Nashville fan here. He's been really good with his feet and decent at shot stopping. Got it. Got it. Okay, yeah, and Brian Schweik is only what, 24? So he's still relatively young for a goalkeeper. Let me see. Brian Schweik. Yeah, he's 24. Also from Illinois. Man, the amount of goalkeepers that Illinois is sending to the U.S. men's national team. Gaga Slonina, Chris Brady, Brad Guzan, Brian Schweik. That's a lot of goalkeepers. Oh, German center back. When will Illinois send a good one, though? Roasted. Oh, yeah, there's also Julian Eystone. That's another one over at Brentford to keep an eye on. So there are lots of potential young keepers, but we have to see which ones hit, right? We all thought Gaga Slonina was a sure thing, and look at him now. And look, it's not over for him. He's still only 22 years old, so he could still, rediscover his career, right? Start from scratch, rebuild. So I'm not saying he's done, but he certainly has not developed the way that we thought he would. So who knows? Same could happen to Diego Cochin. That's why you need 10, 15 prospects, right? Because of those 10, 15 prospects, 2 or 3 end up becoming what you think they're going to become, right? It's a numbers game. Might be dumb, Pete, but does it matter where a goalkeeper plays? They are doing the same thing essentially. They are just shot stopping and playing with their feet. It does matter to a degree. I would say the most important thing, though, for a goalkeeper is getting minutes, right? You have to be playing because it's not like every other position on the field where you can come off the bench and play 25 minutes, rotate. Usually goalkeepers, they have a number one and he plays. And if you're not the number one, you sit on the bench barring a suspension or an injury. So the most important thing is to be playing. It's better to play in MLS than be the third choice keeper for a top European team. You can do that for a period of time, the way that Cochin has, but at some point you need to be playing professionally, whatever your level is at, right? That's how goalkeepers get reps and minutes. So yes, to a degree, I agree with you, but I will say it absolutely matters. Playing for NYCFC is not the same as playing for Barcelona in terms of what you're expected, in terms of dealing with the pressure, in terms of dealing with an opponent's high press, in terms of dealing with quality movement in the opponent's attack, right? The world-class attackers, their movement, their combination play, everything just happens so much faster. And you have to be able to react at speed, right? Which you don't really get in MLS. So yeah, I would say generally speaking, it does matter. But most important thing is that you're playing. If you're not playing, it's very hard to, have any faith in you. So still 1-0. Ivory Coast is winning. And Germany and Ecuador are playing. It's 1-1. Yeah, Ecuador's looked a lot better since their goal. Haven't really created anything, though. And remember, a point is not good enough for Ecuador. They need a win here. Oh, here comes Musiala. Shot blocked. Very good defending by Pacho. Germany have a corner. Florian Wirtz will take it. Corner. Easily cleared. Can Ecuador start something here? Ball in behind. Whatever happened to Kendry Paez? Remember he was the next big thing for Ecuador? They're not very good in transition, Ecuador. They have these opportunities to hit Germany in transition, and they mostly waste them. They've been much better off pressing Germany in their third and winning the ball and going from there. What on earth was that? Oh, my God. Oh, Tack is here. Hey, Tack.
Hey.
So Ecuador managed to pull one back, but it's not enough. They have to win.
Yeah, they shouldn't have conceded an early goal also because playing with Ener Valencia up top, it's going to be hard to get 2 goals. I mean, I'm glad they got to go early. Now they need 1 goal for the rest of this game, but they're not playing well.
No, they're not. Their best chance is when they're pressing Germany, but when they have counterattacking opportunities, dude, Ener Valencia is so bad. I don't know how they haven't replaced him by now.
Yeah, he was already not great in his prime, and he's old now.
Yeah, he's 36.
He was playing in the Brazilian league, and the fans from Internacional, he played the same team as Johnny. They hated him. He got benched there. And that's
Yeah,
not
now
even
he's
like
in
a top
Liga MX.
team. How's he doing Liga MX? I don't even know. Let me see.
He plays for Pachuca, I think. Oh, Musiala, that was filthy.
But let me see how he's doing there. If he's scoring, because there's no way. So 22 games, he scored 8 goals. Not great, not terrible also.
No, that's terrible for a striker. That's 1 goal every 3 games. That's not good. For Liga MX, like if that's a Premier League stat, you're like, okay. But for Liga MX, if you had 8 goals all season.
Yeah, he's like scoring a goal every 4 games.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it was worse for Internacional. It was 1 goal in 14 games.
Oh my God.
Or 3 goals in 24.
Yeah.
Dude, but like, for example, look at the Turkish league. Before he went to Internacional, he scored 29 goals in 31 games in the Turkish league.
That was where he was at the last World Cup.
Yes.
Musiala. So Scotland, as of right now, this result is very good for Scotland and South Korea. Because
Scotland's
if these
out,
results... Huh?
Scotland's out.
I mean, not necessarily.
It's
likely, but the more games that end up with 2 points.
But there's only 2 teams. They're only 2 teams away from leaving the top 8, and everyone's still playing. They're 2 teams away. South Korea is in 4th, so they have a shot.
Oh wait,
so.
They got 4th?
No, like third. 4th of the 3rd place table. The updated
the 3rd place table. Yeah, South Korea. What's their goal? Oh, they have 4 points, right? No, they only have 3. What's their goal difference?
I think it's -1, but Scotland is like -3. Yeah, they're screwed. Scotland's out.
Yeah, that's tough.
Like, sure, they're not officially out, sure, but they're out. Just like we're not officially playing Bosnia, but we're playing Bosnia.
Yeah. I would say if Ecuador wins today, which I don't know if they will, but if they do, then it's really looking bad for Scotland because that's another 3rd place team with 4 points.
Well,
not if Ivory Coast loses.
Ivory Coast is already winning. They're not.
Curaçao's not coming back. To Curacao.
No. So yeah, if Ecuador wins today, they'll be ahead of Scotland, and then right now Scotland will be the 8th best 3rd place. They're screwed because there's like a bunch to play still.
There's a bunch more, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jack says, I'm just hoping Turkey doesn't come out against us as aggressively as Ecuador is playing Germany right now. I want 9 points. Let's go USA. I mean, I hope they come at us aggressively. I don't want an easy game. I want a tough game where these guys have to show up. Also, there are guys that are on fraud watch on this team, right? Whether it's Berhalter or Arfston or Miles if he plays. Thankfully, it doesn't look like Roldan is going to play. You want them to be really tested. And so we can see, I mean, we know their true quality, but the one advantage if they don't play well is at least they've taken themselves out of the mix for knockout minutes, right?
And Pete, I want to add one thing here too. We might today have the official confirmation of Bosnia playing us today.
Yes.
So what needs to happen is Bosnia is the number one when it comes to third place teams because they're the only one with 4 points. So what needs to happen is we need at least 4 teams to have played 3 games and be behind them. Right now we have 1, 2. When this group ends, we're gonna have another one, right? Because if Ecuador wins,
3.
they'll have
Yeah.
3 points. So that'll be 3. Next round, if
Japan.
well, Japan, Sweden in this case, if Sweden loses to Japan, we officially play Bosnia. Then it's confirmed.
Yeah. Sweden's goal difference is 0. If Japan thumps Sweden, then Sweden would still be behind Scotland. But if Japan wins and it's very minor, like 1 or 2 goals, then Scotland's officially out.
Dude, how did Canada finish second and they're gonna play South Africa? That team is abysmal.
Yeah, they got very lucky there. Very lucky. How did South Africa win? How did they beat South Korea? Did you watch the game? I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I watched both games. South Korea is just playing like shit. They both play like shit.
Shh. That's wild.
Like, I've watched all 3 games for South Africa. That's not a good team. I'm sorry. Like, Canada should 100% beat South Africa.
Yeah, they better. Can you imagine if they don't?
I mean, then it was a terrible World Cup.
Yeah.
They congratulations for getting out of the group, but you have to beat South Africa. Then after South Africa, I don't know who they play. It's probably going to be a decent to tough opponent. That's probably where Canada's road ends. What's impressive right now is that all 3 CONCACAF nations could win a knockout game. They should actually, all 3 of them.
Who's Mexico playing? We don't know yet, right?
Not confirmed, but they topped the group. Who'd you say? What'd you say?
Mexico.
Korea? It might be South Korea. I don't know. I'll check here, but they finished first. They're probably going to face a team where they should beat them. Let me see here. Mexico finished first. Bracket.
Don't they match up with England's group?
3C.
Like it could be Croatia or Ghana.
It's looking like 3C. So Scotland, Scotland is out. So another option, let me see. So Scotland is out. 3E. E is Germany, so it could be this one if Ecuador wins. Group. But right now it's not. Wins. So if it's not E, the next option is F. If it's
that's
F,
group, isn't it? No, that's Japan.
No, that
could be Sweden.
Sweden will probably advance as long as they don't get trashed. So, dude, they should be able to beat Sweden. I watched them play. That's not a good team either.
No.
Tougher. Sweden is tougher than Bosnia and South Africa, but they should be able to beat them.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised that Nagelsmann did not rotate at all. He's like topped the group already, but he's still putting out his strongest 11.
Yeah, I'm also a little surprised because I don't think Germany has like 6 days of rest, do they?
But even if you do, it's a gruel. Like the knockout rounds now have an extra game. So it's more grueling than it used to be. You don't just win 2 games and now you're in a semifinal.
Yeah, because we don't know what Pochettino will do either. For all we know, he might only remove the players that are on yellow. That might be it.
I think he's going to do more than the yellow because he said in the press conference that he's not going to risk the yellow player guys. And then he said, also, there are a lot of other guys that deserve an opportunity. So I think we're going to see a heavily rotated team. I don't think it's going to be everybody. I think Alex Freeman might still start tonight. Guys
so like Mexico yesterday.
Kind of, yeah. Because like Alex Freeman hasn't played a lot of soccer this year. So I think he's one of the guys that Pochettino is like, I'm not worried about fatigue with him. You know, the only issue then is injuries, right? Do you have an injury? So I think Alex Freeman might play. Gio Reyna will probably start. I think Tim Weah will start over Serginho.
Berhalter for sure.
Berhalter will because Adams is not playing. So Berhalter's definitely going to start. Roldan is injured, so at least we won't see him in the lineup. It'll be interesting to see who plays next to Berhalter in midfield. Is it going to be Aronson? Is it going to be Gio? Do Malik? Maybe
just one
Malik,
thing.
because Malik didn't play a lot of minutes for Bayer Leverkusen this season.
Average Joe, he said all these pundits are so dumb they didn't even look at the knockout schedule. We have looked at the knockout schedules. We have. The US has 6 days of rest, not 3 or 4. Okay, so before you call anyone dumb, look up at the schedule yourself. We have 6 days of rest from the game we played today. We played July 1st. And then after that, they have like 4 days roughly per game. That's 5. The average. It obviously depends on a few matchups. But yes, we are fully aware of that. Don't think you looked up information better than anyone else here. All you have to do is look at Google or even AI at this point. So that's not like an information that only you have. We're fully aware of that. You know how we know that? Because we have to cover it. So we have to plan out our schedules. So we're fully aware of it. Okay.
It's also wrong because we get 6 days of rest, right? Between the 25th and 5 days of rest between the 25th and the 1st. And then our game after that is on the 6th, it looks like. So that's another 5 days of rest.
Okay. So he's even wrong about that.
Yeah. It does get more compressed the deeper you go, for sure. Like after the round of 16, it gets more compressed.
Okay, so he's clarifying. He said he's not calling us dumb. Sorry then about that, Average Joe. It's just that when you write in the chat and you don't specify, you say all these pundits and we're the only two here, it kind of sounds like you're talking about us. But he said, look at the schedule beyond. It's 3 to 4 days, which target round 16 isn't a go. I'm saying Herc and others. Okay. Well, I don't think Herc is stupid either, but that's fine. It's just that if you don't clarify
after the round of 16, it gets very compressed for sure.
Yeah, it's just that if you don't say, I wouldn't call y'all pundits either, to be honest. Yeah, look, guys, I don't call myself a pundit or even Pete.
No.
But when someone's in the chat and they write it that way, it kind of sounds like talking about us, right? And people have called us many things. We've even gotten called Twitter ISIS. So calling us pundit is not the worst thing.
Bottom of the basement journalists.
That's not me. That's not me, though.
Boy. Not you. That was me and Straight Red. Me and Straight Red. Because our sources, who, by the way, those sources that he was calling out, we were right. It was about Greg Berhalter getting fired. And it ended up being happened.
Yeah, but you guys don't have a UEFA license.
Not just that. We aren't. Who did he name? He named all these like shills. It's like they aren't proper journalists the way that these other guys are. Stephen Goff and, Jeff Carl. I was like, what? The dude's like rattling off the name of shills. I was like, oh boy, Jake. Would you play Pulisic today to keep him ready? I would, but not for the full game. I'd play him for 20, 30 minutes at the end just to give him some game practice, but I wouldn't start him. The risk of Pulisic, who's already very injury prone, getting injured is just too high. You don't want to take that risk. We need him for the knockout rounds.
Yeah, and if you really want to start him, sub him out at halftime.
Yeah, that's the other alternative. USMNT win tonight equals Spicy Jeff on stream. No, that will not be happening. I mean, his chats will be on the stream for sure, his super chats, but that's about it.
Oh, boxing match between Jake and Pete. I would pay good money for that.
Yeah, you think you should, Tack? I don't think that's
something I would 100% do it. If you guys can make it happen.
It would be over too soon for any entertainment.
I would be 100% down for it. Boxing, MMA, whatever you guys want.
I did Muay Thai growing up. It would be over in about 8 seconds.
You can't kick on boxing, though.
Yeah, you can on Thai boxing.
No, Thai boxing, but they said boxing, right? Like Jake Paul boxing.
I let him pick the method. You pick the method. Either way. Jake would be going home.
They're saying Jake Paul. It's like, no, I would also fight Jake Paul because getting beat up by Jake Paul would actually make me a lot of money. So I'll be okay with that too.
Yes, you would make millions of dollars.
Get beat up, stay 1 month in the hospital. It's okay. You can afford the bills and retire.
Guys, when I was 17 years old, I was still in Thailand, and my parents were doing a lot of humanitarian relief work for a refugee camp in Burma. Or just on the Thai-Burmese border. And so I used to go and stay there for a couple of days, and I would help teach English at their school. And one of the things that they used to do every day, and this is how I guess it's Burmese tradition, every day they would literally have stick fights with bamboo poles. They would cut down bamboo poles, which, by the way, really hurt. And you're only allowed to use one hand. You have to keep the other hand behind your back, and they draw out a square in the sand, and you have to stay inside that square. If you leave that square, you lose. And you win the game by whacking your opponent with the bamboo pole 5 times. Once you got 5 times, you win, and then you stay in, and the next guy comes in. And you keep going until you are knocked out. And I did that every day. Whenever I would visit, I would do that every day. So trust me, I got beaten many times, but I got better and better over time. So trust me, I have plenty of experience in 1v1 fighting. It would not be even close.
But you don't have a UEFA license, so.
But I don't have a UEFA license or a Substack where I can criticize people.
You can make a Substack, but the UEFA license is.
That's impossible. Only really great coaches can get
It's him, Jurgen Klopp, and Pep. Those 3.
Yep.
But what was I going to say? So, guys, apparently the Qataris found my Instagram. I posted a short just talking about how garbage they were in the World Cup. And I thought I was kind of fair, right? Because they were.
They were garbage.
They were. They got a lucky draw. That doesn't mean anything. And then they found it, and they're just like, oh, you're using Qatar for views. It's like, guys. No one uses Qatar for views. You're not that important. We're talking about the World Cup, and Qatar happens to be in the World Cup somehow. We don't know how, but somehow they happen to be in the World Cup. So if they're in the World Cup, we have to talk about Qatar. Like, we talk about everyone. I made videos about Ecuador, Ivory Coast, Brazil, US, Turkey, Paraguay, everyone. But then apparently I'm using Qatar for views. Qatar. Like,
Qatar is so funny, man, because they don't belong. Are they the worst team at this World Cup based on performances? You could argue
they had that lucky draw. That was the problem.
Yeah, but if you look at performances, how many chances did Switzerland squander, right?
Oh,
then they got thumped 6-0 by Canada, who's not even a good team. Like, sure, you could say Curacao got beat 7-1 by Germany, and at least they scored a goal, right? And then Curacao got a pretty respectable draw against Ecuador.
Dude,
if you look at the overall, I think Qatar has been the worst team at this World Cup so far.
Dude, I just got another comment of someone from Qatar shitting on me on the post, and then I clicked on it to see the handle of it. Can you see the name of the handle?
I love Qatar.
Yes,
love Qatar.
The guy's handle is I love Qatar. Imagine I make a handle, I love Florida, or I love Orlando. It's like, dude,
a lot of them are also state-sponsored accounts. Like, remember the state-sponsored fans at the Gold Cup? Americans wearing Qatar jerseys.
He's probably there. My God.
Might be one of those guys.
Look at this clown. Yeah, he's definitely getting paid. Yeah. His whole account is just like Qatari propaganda. It's insane. I'm looking at it. It's just like the best food in Qatar. I mean, that's all fine, but it's just like, dude, take criticism. Your team is fucking ass. Like, if the United States was as bad as them, we'd be shitting on them with everyone.
Yeah. All right. Got a couple super chats here to read. Start anyone with a yellow card. Keep cohesion. Yeah, I understand the cohesion argument. The problem is that you have the risk of injury and fatigue, especially the way that the U.S. plays. We play a high press, a very intense counter press. I could see us gassing out very easily in the knockouts if we don't get this extra rest. So I'll disagree with you there. I would rather have them not risk injuries, not risk getting a red card, not risk fatigue, and give some of our depth pieces a run out. But that's just me. All right. Which region has performed the best so far? And then who has been the worst? I don't know. It's a tough one because if you look at Asia started really well, right? AFC started really well, but then South Korea performed poorly. Australia then went out and lost. So if you look at Asia, Qatar was a disaster. Jordan has done absolutely nothing. So I don't think you can give it to Asia. The only team that's really done well in Asia has been Japan. Other than that, you look around Asia, it's not gone well for them. South Korea, Qatar disappointed. Jordan didn't
Do
disappoint.
not
But they
say that about Qatar. I love Qatar accounts coming after you now.
Then I would say CONMEBOL has kind of underperformed. If you look at CONMEBOL, Paraguay so far, I mean, they sort of redeemed themselves a little bit with a 1-0 win over Turkey, but we'll see how they do against Australia.
It's
Uruguay,
Brazil and Argentina are going to top their groups. Everyone else underperformed.
Well, Colombia could still, right?
Oh no, they'll. I think they will top. They won both games.
Yeah, they're going to top their group also. But Paraguay, Uruguay, and Ecuador have seriously disappointed. So it's kind of half and half. Then you look at.
Would you say Paraguay disappointed? I don't think they disappointed. They lost the U.S.
I guess it remains to be seen in this final.
Yeah, like let's say
if they
beat
Australia, then it's 4 out of 6 for them.
Yeah, if they did well, Uruguay disappointed for sure.
Uruguay,
Ecuador,
and Ecuador has been really poor.
Yeah,
which is crazy because they weren't that bad against Ivory Coast, but then they could only get that draw against Curacao.
Oh, Ener Valencia wasted like 3 goals on 1v1s with the goalkeeper. I don't know how.
It's crazy. So yeah, so that's 4 out of 6 for CONMEBOL. If you look at CONCACAF, it's 3-3, right? USA, Mexico, Canada all go through. USA and Mexico, most impressive ones. Haiti's kind of actually performed okay, but you can't get no points, you know.
Better than Qatar.
But Haiti, Panama, and Curacao all disappointed, as expected. We had no expectations of any of those teams. At least Curacao got a point. That's pretty good. You give them that. I think Africa probably has been one of the most impressive so far, if you look at it. I know Senegal has not done well, but Ivory Coast look like they're going through.
But Pete, Senegal, I watched both games. They played well. But
I know.
They faced
France. A very tough group.
France is the best team in the tournament. And the Norway game it could have gone either way. It was a tough game. It was 3-2. Norway is also a very good team. So I think Senegal's been fine. As long as they can trash, is it Iraq? Yeah, Iraq. They will advance. Like Senegal's been fine. Morocco finished second on goal differential in Brazil's group.
Morocco's been good. Ivory Coast, I think, has been good too. And then Cabo Verde, even though they're not going to get through,
they might. What do you mean they're not going to get through?
They have 2 points.
Yeah, they play Saudi Arabia. They could advance with a draw.
That's
true. If they win, they're through. If they win, they're through.
True.
And they tied Spain. They tied Uruguay. They can beat Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's true. And then there's the DR Congo, right? DR Congo, they have what, 1 point so far?
Yeah, they could go through because if they beat Uzbekistan with 4 points, they'll advance.
Yeah,
it's open.
Honestly, the most disappointing federation has been Oceania. New Zealand.
As always.
Yeah, but Tunisia have not been good and Algeria have not been good. That they've kind of brought Africa down a little bit. But Cabo Verde, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Morocco.
Wait, you said Algeria?
Didn't they lose both games?
No, they won the second game. They've been fine.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Tunisia. Yeah.
Yeah, because Algeria, they lost to Argentina. That's it.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Egypt is also in there. Egypt still has a shot, right?
No, they're qualified already. They're already qualified.
They could top their group, though.
Yeah, they can top it, but they're already advanced.
They can top the group, which would be incredible for Egypt. Oh, yeah, Ghana, and there's Ghana as well. They have 4 points.
They're pretty much through, yeah. Ghana's through.
Yeah, I would say Africa's number 1 so far. In this tournament so far, Africa has performed the best. So credit to them. After that, I'd say it's probably CONMEBOL and then CONCACAF, depending on what Paraguay does. If Paraguay beats Australia tonight, or even draws, right? If they draw, they have a better goal. No, they don't have a better goal difference than Australia. They would get third, but they would still go through. So even if they draw with Australia, they would get third, but they would go through on 4 points. So yeah, Paraguay very likely to go through unless Australia wins, which could happen also. We'll see. So yeah, so I'd say Africa at the top, CONMEBOL and CONCACAF right after them. UEFA is an interesting one. Most of the UEFA teams have done reasonably well because even if they started poorly, they went out and won their second game, right? The only UEFA teams out of 16, it's tough with UEFA because they have 16 teams there, right? Most of them are going to get out of the group, right? France
Wait,
will.
so let's just go through here. Czech is out, Scotland is out, Turkey is out. So 3.
Yeah. Sweden's
Sweden
probably, maybe out, maybe not.
questionable. It's
Yeah.
questionable.
Belgium's
Belgium will go
questionable.
through. Belgium will go through. They just probably won't top the group.
Yeah.
Austria will probably go through. Portugal will go through. Croatia will go through. Yeah, so 3 will be eliminated in the group stage.
Yeah.
That's a lot, dude, if you think about it. Because how
3
many
out of
teams are
16?
well, 3 out of 16 teams that are eliminated, right? That's 20%.
Yeah, but that's, they're about how many? 16 is about 30% of the tournament is UEFA, right? 16 out of 48. So 33% UEFA teams.
And 20 eliminated. Okay, so that's better than what they have, yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying tax. Scotland isn't out. Greenman, you're right. Officially, they're not. But we went through the table. They are pretty much out. Like they need a crazy. I mean, sure, a crazy combination could happen, but trust me, it has to be very crazy. Things have to really go their way. Even their coach yesterday. Did you see him talking? He
Steve
said,
Clark.
"Yeah." He said, "I
I
think we're
thought he
going home."
refused to talk to the media.
No, he talked, and they asked him, and he said, "I think we're going home." The Scottish coach.
It's kind of silly. They should have just gone to that Brazil game to try and get a point or keep the goal difference low. They would have qualified. A point, they would have qualified. And
For
they would have
sure.
still had a
Or
chance
just
to
not getting
qualify if they
trashed.
lost 1-0. Yeah.
Or not getting trashed.
Yeah, it's kind of naive by the Scots, to be honest. Kind of naive.
So, Pete, just so you know, the I Love Qatar said that Qatar struggled because they lost focus. That was key. They lost focus. If they were focused, they would have made it.
So when have they had focus? Did they lose focus in the last World Cup?
They're only focused in the Asian Cup. Like when it's the World Cup, they lose
That's the
focus.
only time they focus. In the World Cup, they all tune out. What about
Yeah.
the Gold Cup in 2021? Did they lose focus then too?
Both Gold Cups. And also, if they're going to say that maybe they lost focus because they saw like pride flags and it bothered them here in the US, well, the last World Cup was in Qatar. So I don't know what bothered them there.
Yeah, what bothered them in Qatar, where like no one was allowed to bring a pride flag in?
Dude,
Also, they have 2 Brazilians on that team, which is hilarious to me.
They don't, dude. They're imagine. So if you remove them, they would be even worse.
Yes, yeah, they have 2 Brazilians playing with them.
But
also, understand. This team is the exact same team that played us in the Gold Cup in 2021. Do you remember that? The same guys. Akram Afif was their best player. They still had that Portuguese defender, Pedro, who's now... Yes. Also, this Qatar team is old. I looked at their starting lineup yesterday. Like half the team is in their mid-30s. I think they're going to get even worse.
The problem with these nations like Qatar, I get that same sense from like Saudi Arabia, some of these countries in the Middle East, is that they are just constantly looking for validation. They care a lot what people say about them. Like someone shits on the U.S. men's national team when we're bad. We're just like, yeah, we fucking suck. It's like we just go with it. It's like, yeah, we suck. Brazilians are still shitting on Brazil right now. They topped the group. And then Qatar, you just say it's like, dude, 2 World Cups, 6 games, 17 goals conceded, only 3 goals scored, and 3 of those games were at home. This is abysmal. And you say it, you call a spade, and they freak out about it.
Yeah, but the underlying problem for Qatar and Saudi Arabia, and China already tried this and failed miserably, and I don't know why these countries think it's going to work, is they're spending a lot of money in football, in hosting, in bringing top players into their league, but they're misplaced value. They need to be spending money on player development. Imagine the hundreds of millions of dollars that they've spent on building stadiums, on, paying top players to come play in Saudi Arabia or play in the Qatari League. Imagine if they took that money and established, futsal pitches. Their countries are also tiny. It's very easy for people to get around, right? You put 100 futsal pitches in the city of, in Qatar, right? In Doha. That's going to be huge. Then you get good youth coaches and you have academies and your job is to scout the best players and you have them playing every day. That's where they need to be spending their money. It's where China also failed. China did this, right? They spent obscene amounts of money. Marcello Lippi is coming, the Cannavaro's playing in the Chinese. It doesn't do anything for your national team. It might do a little bit for the league in terms of temporary interest, but if your money is not spent on youth development, where's your next generation coming from? Where? So that's the problem with most of these Middle Eastern teams. They badly want to be in the world of football, but they don't want to do the hard work of developing their own players. They just want big showy leagues and big tournaments and, Coppa Italia finals being played in Riyadh. So it's like, guys, you have to develop your own players.
Yeah, hopefully they learn how to take some criticism too. That's a big reason why America got where they are. Like
we've been shit on for, I want to say, decades.
Probably century, right? And the United States does listen, and we try to improve. We're not perfect, but we're definitely not sensitive and soft like they are. It's freaking insane. Do you see, Iran now was complaining about the pride flags, right? Apparently in the game that they're going to play in Seattle. And it just goes kind of back to what we were talked about in Qatar. It's like, listen, guys, just kind of respect the local laws and local culture.
Yeah, that's what you demanded of us when we went to Qatar.
Oh,
remember what's his name? Who's the journalist who died?
Oh, Grant Wall. He was being bullied there because of it.
Yeah, because he had a pride flag on his T-shirt, right? And this guy has a gay brother, so he was doing it in support of him. And in Qatar, they wouldn't allow that. That's their culture. It's a Muslim country. Agree or disagree, that's their culture. And they demanded that you respect their culture. But now you're in the United States. Now it's time for you to respect our culture, right? Or at least the culture of Seattle, however you want to put it.
So it's a penalty for Germany, but it might get overturned because there was a foul
in the lead. It's definitely a penalty from Ordonez.
But they fouled the Ecuadorian player before the penalty, so I don't think it'll stand.
Yeah.
I think the ref's going to call it back.
45 minutes to find a goal here.
No penalty. They're not gonna give it. The Ecuadorian player got fouled before it happened. It was pretty obvious, so it's not going to stand. Lucky Ecuador, because if Germany scored this goal, it's over. They ain't scoring 2 goals with Ener Valencia up top in a half. Yeah, that's a clear foul in the midfield right there. It's just that the Ecuadorian player falls after.
Sane.
Yeah, why is the ref taking so long? Like, that's every ref calls that a foul in the midfield. Every ref.
Yeah, I don't know. She also has a very questionable. Germany's goal was very questionable. Did you see the goal?
Germany's goal. Yeah. That he shot from the edge.
It was a high boot. It was a high boot from Pavlovic above his head, and then he caught him with his studs on the way down.
Wait. She gave a penalty?
I think there was contact, but not enough.
Yeah, but in the midfield, he was kicked. Like, he just fell late, but he was kicked. Dude. He was kicked. Like, I know it was not a brutal kick. It's not a yellow or anything, but that's a foul.
That's 2 calls now that Germany doesn't deserve. I'm sorry. They don't deserve that. That's really unfair to Ecuador.
I'm just waiting to see what she. Nope. Oh, no. Wait. No penalty. No penalty. Okay. So, yes.
All right. So then that is the right call.
Yeah. She made the right call. No penalty. Yeah, I was like, there's no way she doesn't call that a foul. Like, I know the guy falls slow and soft after, but he literally got kicked.
No, he did trip him. He tripped him.
Like, fouls are not only when you break the player's leg, okay?
Yeah. Ivory Coast, Curacao are kind of hanging on here, but they need 2 goals on Ivory Coast. It's hard to see it.
Nah, Curaçao's out. Ivory Coast will probably get another.
Yeah, I can't really see Curacao scoring twice. Ooh, that's another foul. Germany playing a little dirty here. I say let Qatar compete in Copa America. No, thank you. No, thank you. They don't
Why?
add any value.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
what
would
value are
we
they adding?
yeah, why would we want them?
No, even for Gold Cup, like, do they really add value to the Gold Cup? They don't.
They pay money to CONCACAF for sure.
For sure they did.
They don't draw interest, so it's not going to draw more people. They're not exciting to watch, and they're not good enough to give us a challenge. So no, we
No,
don't want them.
no. If
Just
anything,
in
invite
mon-
like Japan and Korea. Even Iran would be better. Australia.
not Australia. I was going to say Iran, not with the current state of the world.
No, that might be a problem. But Australia, Japan, South Korea.
No, but again, we don't need any of that in the Copa America. The Copa America is very
No,
competitive
no,
with
I mean for the
16
Gold
teams.
Cup. For the Gold Cup.
Gold Cup, yeah. Well, Gold
For
Cup,
Copa America, you want 6 teams. 10 from South America, 6 from CONCACAF. That's it. Keeps it simple.
dude, for Gold Cup, just invite South American nations. See if they will come. Just invite South American nations.
Yeah. Even if they send a B team, be better than some of the opponents we face.
If it's Brazil and Argentina, Brazil could honestly just send their domestic league national team. It's gonna be one of the favorites to win it.
They would still compete for sure.
They would be with the US and Mexico as the 3 favorites.
I don't know. The domestic national team, I don't think would be as good as the US. Not if we bring the full first team.
The goalkeeper there is better. Center backs are better than Tim Ream.
Yeah, but we still have Freeman and Richards.
Freeman, we still have to see. It's probably about similar level. A few guys there. Trying to think. I think it would be very close, dude.
I don't think it would be as good as the US, but to be fair, I don't watch the Brazilian league, so what do I know?
The center forward would probably be Pedro.
I'm going to play a video from our sponsor real quick, Tech. It's a 2-minute video, so get some water if you need to or something.
Hey, it's a hydration break.
It's a hydration break.
Where is it?
I'm fine. I'm pulling it up. 1 sec.
They're saying no way, considering how well the Brazil team is doing. Guys, Brazil topped their group with Morocco. Brazil tied Morocco 1-1 and then beat 2 teams 3-0. Like I don't understand like the standards people hold Brazil to. It's like they have to trash everyone 5-0. Like what else in terms of results? What else did you want from Brazil in the group stage? To beat Morocco also? Does the US beat Morocco? We don't know. Do we beat Morocco? Right. I don't know.
Is here, and I'm eyeing teams like the US men's national team, Argentina, Spain, and the Netherlands, which is why I wanted to give the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek, a huge shout out. If I was going to see one of the World Cup games, I can't really see the US because I'm covering it here on YouTube, but I would love to see an Argentina game in stadium, Messi, the GOAT, playing in his last ever World Cup tournament, although who knows? Now, SeatGeek has you covered for the games. With over 35 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. There are more than 70,000 events listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sports, festivals, and more. I love using SeatGeek. You know, I was in Atlanta last year and I wanted to see an Atlanta United game. It was the easiest thing in the world. I got on the SeatGeek app, scrolled, found tickets, they were available. Purchased them right on the app. The tickets were sent right there. For those of you who prefer to make purchases on the laptop, you can also go straight to their website and get your tickets that way. Now, every ticket on the app is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. Look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee. Plus, I have a discount. Get $30 off of any ticket when you spend $200 when you use the code YANKS30. It works for new and existing users. Hit the link in the description so the code gets auto-applied. Make sure you click the link in the description and have the code automatically applied to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. That's $30 off any World Cup tickets when you spend $200 and use the code YANKS30. All right. So thank you to SeatGeek. Whoa. So still no goals, 1-1 in Ecuador, Germany, and 1-0 to Ivory Coast. At this point, it's going to be Ecuador out. Ecuador and Curacao both out with one. Ecuador would have 2 points. That's not enough.
Okay, so
That's
can I
how
just
Ecuador
talk?
scores again.
I just want to talk about this because it said you pumped a bad. So to talk about Brazil, it said you pumped a bad Scotland team in Haiti. So I don't think Scotland is as bad as we're thinking. They're not a great team. They're
They're
probably
better than
what?
Australia.
They're better than Australia for sure. They're probably better than Paraguay. Honestly, Scotland's probably better than the 3 teams in our group. Do I think the US would beat Scotland? Yes, I think the US would beat Scotland. But Scotland's not a garbage team. They're probably better than the other 3 teams in our group. They'd only be behind the US. Haiti's a bad team. Haiti's a bad team. But Morocco almost didn't beat Haiti. Scotland almost didn't beat Haiti. Right?
Yeah,
So
look,
I just don't understand what are the expectations
they're
for
higher.
like Brazil in the World Cup. That's what I don't understand.
Because of history, I think Brazil and the players that they have, people expect them to win everything all the time. They're up there with Spain and France in terms of expectations. But Brazil is going to be judged on how they do in the knockouts, right? If they get knocked out in the round of 16 or the quarterfinal, that's a failure for Brazil. Even a semifinal, if they get thrashed in a semifinal, that's considered a failure in Brazilian culture. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Like that Germany 7-1 loss and then losing to the Netherlands 3-0 was a failure for Brazil. You're the 5-time World Cup champions. Expectations are going to be higher for you. And also because of their player pool, right? Their player pool is massive. But Brazil, we'll see. Can they turn it on?
I
And
just think
beat the
it's
big teams?
unrealistic, the expectations people have. Like, for example, with Brazil, everything's different. Like, Scotland gave Brazil a free goal. Guys, we scored 2 own goals to start our games. Did they hand us those goals? No. Brazil got the goal because Ryan pressed and Vini pressed the goalie. So the pass came in and Vini scored. The same way we created the chances where Paraguay scored an own goal, and so did Australia. Those goals weren't gifted to the US and it wasn't gifted to Brazil. They made it happen. It's not like the freaking Scottish, Paraguayan, or Australian player. They just kicked it on their own goal. Like that didn't happen. It's just very unrealistic. Now, from what happened in the group stage, is Brazil among the favorites to win it? They're probably among the top 6, but they're not better than Spain. They're not better than France. Argentina's probably 50-50 because it's a derby. But it's just like Brazil, the expectations for Brazil are a little too insane. Brazil, realistically, they're a team to be between like quarterfinals and final. That's the realistic
Yeah,
aim for Brazil.
but that's most teams, even the favorites, right? Like if
Yes.
France makes a semifinal, it's still a good World Cup. Only people forget, one team is going to win. Everybody who doesn't win, technically, of the big teams have underachieved. If England don't win it, they'll call it a failure. If Spain
Mhm.
don't win it, they'll call it a failure. If Brazil don't win it, to a degree, they'll call it a failure. But only one team can win it. I think if you make a semifinal, no matter who you are, it's a pretty successful World Cup.
Yeah, I just think people overhype Brazil. And I don't mean that in a bad way towards Brazil. I just think people always think Brazil has to win the World Cup, and I get it. They won 5, but it's just not reality. The team
It's
is not the
extremely
best
hard to
team.
win the World Cup every time. You can't.
Brazil is not the best team in the World Cup. So if they don't win the World Cup, it's just reality, right? They can win it, but they're not the favorites.
No,
But they treat them as
they're
the
the second
favorites.
team.
They all treat them as
Yes,
the favorites.
quality. They're there with like the Netherlands, with Portugal, with Argentina, maybe a little better than Argentina, but they don't have the same as France and Spain. But they have France and Spain expectations because they're Brazil. Jeff says, I'm so sore after last night. Ooh, don't know if I want to know why. Probably doing
Jim,
too many crunches.
Jim.
Probably gymming. And he has got a gym in the back of his van. Did you see the New York Times article on Brazil using AI scouting? Actually, I did not. I did not see that. Tack, did you see this?
I didn't see that. No.
I'm sure lots of teams are using AI to like scout formations and opponents because it's just data, right? AI is data. People think AI is, sentient and has a soul. No, it's gathering data and it's good at compiling data and presenting it to you in easy format. It's probably what they're doing there. Please stop the whining. Who's whining? Oh, maybe he's talking to you, Tack.
No. I think what Bailey is not understanding is like I didn't say Brazil can bring a B team to the Gold Cup. That's not what I said. I said a team of domestic players. If you look at Brazil's roster, I think there's like 8 or 9 domestic players. Like half of the roster they have now is what I'm saying they should bring to the Gold Cup, and the other players from the Brazilian league. And yes, they would be contenders with Mexico and the US. Doesn't mean they'll win, but they will be contenders. They would be better than Canada.
That I agree with. I don't think they're as good as the US, but I think they would be up there with Mexico. If you're Canada, you use drones to scout. Yeah. Didn't they get a points deduction for that or something with their women's team?
No, wasn't it the man's? It was John Herdman, wasn't it?
Oh, it was when John Herdman was in charge. Yeah, it was John Herdman when he coached the women's team, I think. Was it the women's team or the men's? I don't know, man. All that drone scouting to me is like, what are you going to see? You could probably learn, to me, you learn more from watching the opponent's tape than you do from watching whatever they're doing in training. So I've never really understood scouting the opponent's training. Maybe some set piece routines, but even then, I feel like mostly you can see that from watching, just watching game tape. All right, 60 minutes for both teams. Half an hour to go, guys. Half an hour to go. Ecuador have to score or they have no chance. Curacao needs 2 goals against Ivory Coast.
Did Ecuador have a shot in the second half? I don't think they have.
No, they had a lot of the ball in the first half, but they didn't do anything with it.
I'm just not seeing like Ecuador's chance of winning this game would have been to not concede a goal and then get like a 1-0 win. They conceded that goal. They finally scored a goal.
Yeah.
I'm just not seeing it. Like, can they still get one? Sure, but
yeah, sure.
They're not doing anything.
No. Germany looked kind of in control of the game. Even when they let Ecuador have the ball,
they
just
hit a shot on target. Finally.
No danger areas.
From distance.
Whew. Right at Neuer, but still a good shot. Dude, how many 40-year-olds or late 30s that this is definitely their last World Cup are playing in this World Cup? It's crazy when you think about it.
Ronaldo,
so Ronaldo,
Modric,
Neymar,
Neuer.
Messi.
No, Neymar's young, dude. He's like 33.
Yeah, but this is his last World Cup.
No, it's his last one, but you said 40s. He's not. He's just
40s or late 30s. I put Neymar there because he ain't going to be around in 4 years.
No, he's just washed, but he's not that old.
He's washed. But as a great, it's his last World Cup. He's one of the greats.
Yeah.
You look at Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar,
Modric.
Manuel Neuer, Luka Modric, Edin Dzeko.
Perisic, do you include him? Perisic is a pretty big
He's
name.
37, I imagine. He's done too.
Perisic, Ener Valencia. Ener Valencia.
Definitely Ener Valencia. Hopefully Tim Ream.
Yeah, Memo Ochoa.
Memo Ochoa for sure. That's 10 right there. There's got to be more. Guys, help us in the chat. Who else
Let
is
me
there?
look at all the teams here.
Arnautovic from Bosnia.
Son.
Potentially, yeah. Son
is another one.
I mean, he's only 33, Son, but he does feel kind of washed.
He's already in MLS. You think 4 years from now he'll be playing the World Cup?
I doubt it. Unless South Korea doesn't develop another striker. Craig
Mo
Gordon,
Salah.
but he's not even starting for Scotland. Oh, yeah, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane.
Mo Salah. Well, Salah's 34. Yeah, I don't think he'll play the next one. Yeah, 34. Trying to see if I can find anyone else. France, do they have anyone?
There's also Antonio Rudiger.
Kante's on the bench for France.
Definitely Kante. Harry Kane, he's only 33.
He might be able to play, dude. He's very he might be able to.
Yeah. Oh, Raul Jimenez.
James Rodriguez. Forgot about him.
James. What about Alisson? Oh, Ivory Coast scored again.
Yeah, Alisson from Brazil. He's young, dude.
He's
Alisson,
like
well,
what?
he's
Late
33,
30s?
but for goalie,
For a
37 is
goalkeeper,
doable.
he still could, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 17 right there that we can think of. There's probably a few more. Oh, De Bruyne. De Bruyne is done after this. Carrasquilla for Panama,
Lukaku.
sure.
Lukaku.
Lukaku, that's 20 already. Vojinha. Yeah, Vojinha's done. What about Casemiro?
Oh yeah, he's done too. Yeah, he's done. He's
I'm
coming
trying to
to
think.
Inter Miami now.
Rodrigo de Paul.
Yeah, he'll be done.
Rodrigo de Paul. Trying to think if
Otamendi's
there's
in the World Cup. Actually, I forgot about that.
Otamendi. Yeah, Otamendi. He's not starting, but he's definitely Otamendi's done.
Andy Robertson from Liverpool, the left back for Scotland. Yeah.
Andy Robertson. Someone's saying Lautaro. No, Lautaro is like 28, 29. He could be
Yeah,
fine.
Lautaro's not that old.
Oh, Granit Xhaka from Switzerland.
Lautaro is 28. Yeah, no, he's not old.
David Alaba from Austria.
How old is Alaba? He's not young. Alaba is he's 34. Yeah, possibly.
So we're at 27. Trying to think if there's anybody else. Kalanoglu for Turkey.
Ecuador with the ball in.
Mehdi Taremi for sure. He's 33.
I don't know because like it's Iran, right? Are they developing anyone? He might be playing
That's
at
the problem,
37.
right? He might still be there.
Yeah.
Did we
Because
already
they
count
don't
it
develop.
right?
Iran
Raul
doesn't
Ruiz.
develop players at that level with very often.
No,
So
it's true. They don't. Virgil van Dijk.
Van Dijk, yeah.
Van Dijk. That's 29. We need at least one more. There's got to be another one on Belgium. Thomas Meunier. Thomas Meunier, the right back for Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Riyad Mahrez, sure, for Algeria. That's 31. Enner Valencia. We forgot about Valencia.
No, I told you Valencia when we started. And
Did we say Valencia already?
Yeah, he stinks, but he is technically a legend for Ecuador. So
yeah, 31. Oh, Axel Witsel from Belgium. Yeah, that's true. Oh, Memphis Depay. Forgot about Depay.
Current score, Pete. You didn't put the score on screen, people.
Oh, the score is 1-1. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, so that's 33 right there. Someone's saying Christian Roldan. No, we don't put him in that category. Yeah, Devonta, we already got Otamendi in the 33. Koulibaly. Which Koulibaly? The one from Senegal?
Mm-hmm. The center back, yeah.
So that's 34 already. No, Frankie de Jong is still quite young. We already got De Bruyne. Harry Kane, still 33, so he could still play in the next World Cup. Lewandowski is not in this World Cup because Poland's not there, but he would have been one for sure. Could an AFC team win the World Cup this year? No. The closest chance they have is Japan. But even Japan, as good as they have been, they're not going to win the World Cup. They could go deep, right? They could go deep, but they also have a lot of injuries, Japan. I would have a little more confidence in Japan going deep if Mitoma was there, if Endo was there, if Minamino was there. But right now, Kubo also got injured.
I think they're going to lose to Brazil in the first knockout round.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Japan.
Yeah, they're going to...
Oh, yeah, Jordan Henderson. We forgot about him. Jordan Henderson.
Yeah, kind of. But the problem with Japan is like if they finish in second, which they probably will because of goal differential, they play Brazil in the first knockout game. If they had everyone, Endo, Minamino, Mitoma, Kubo healthy, it's toe-to-toe. Missing all those guys, it's tough. A little too much for them.
Yeah.
Marquinhos is last World Cup. How old is Marquinhos? I think he's 32. He might have another one in him.
He might. Especially now, you have to remember players are playing longer than ever.
Yeah, right? He's also a center back, right? We saw Thiago Silva win a Champions League at 38 for Chelsea.
38,
so yeah, Marquinhos might still have another World Cup in him.
Someone saying Johnny Placide for Haiti, Pete. Guys, we're talking about like really good players. We're not talking about randos. Trying to think who else is there that we might have missed. I think that's it. All right, we're at a hydration break now, guys. Let's have a word. Let's have a word from our other sponsor,
Man,
FanDuel.
Pete has so many sponsors here.
Hey, it's like a podcast. You know, you're listening to a podcast and then there's like 8 minutes of them reading ads by sponsors and you're like trying to fast forward all of them. That's what it's like. All right, World Cup for FanDuel. Share screen. All right, these are FanDuel's odds, and I'm just going to look at the odds for later today, guys. If you look at the odds later today, Tunisia versus the Netherlands. Tunisia at plus 2,700. Netherlands have not topped the group yet, so I don't think they're going to do much rotating. And Tunisia have been quite poor, so I wouldn't put any money on that. Japan-Sweden is the interesting one. I'm pretty sure Japan's going to win this game, so I wouldn't put any money on Sweden either. This one is interesting. Australia are plus 340 to beat Paraguay. Australia could absolutely beat Paraguay. Yeah. If you're going to put any money there, I would potentially put it on Australia. Because Australia at plus 340 is actually very reasonable. They could easily beat Uruguay. So if you have anything, it would probably put it there. All right. Pull up the score again. Thank you to FanDuel for sponsoring this stream. All right. A couple more here. Jeff says, would you put Modric in the top 20 players ever? Ooh. Top 20 ever is tough. It's also very hard to judge players from different eras. But if he's not in the top 20, I'd say he'd be close. Definitely top 50. But it's hard to judge players from different eras. Like there was a time where like group defending didn't exist. And it was very much just like do your own thing. Ever is a long time. But I would say I'd put him in the top 20 for this century, for sure. For this century, I would put Modric in a top 20. Incredible player. And incredible longevity, too. Do you think the hydration break will...
Ecuador. I don't know. Are you behind me?
Yeah, I'm behind you.
Okay, I'll see it.
Manuel Neuer. Long ball. Ecuador wins it back. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That was their chance. Oh, my God. That was their chance to get out of the group. Oh, no. Dang, that was close. Yeah, Germany's given away a lot of sloppy ball. That's how Ecuador scored their goal. It was a very sloppy ball by Germany. And this German team, if you think about it, yeah, they've been generally looked good, but they've conceded 3 goals in 3 games. They conceded to Curacao, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador, who didn't score on anybody else. So I don't know. This Germany team still has a lot to be desired defensively. So I don't think the hydration break is going anywhere, guys. I think it's here to stay. I think it's here to stay, especially if advertisers want to use the hydration break like they do on Fox. I don't think it's going anywhere. All right. Greetings from Lehigh, Utah. What do you think of Matt Freese having interest from English teams? Also, Edgar Moreno said Banks will play for USMNT. So I don't know what teams are interested in Matt Freese. If it's like a championship team, I think he could probably do well maybe in the championship and probably good for him to get out of MLS and be tested. Premier League, I don't think this guy can start for a Premier League team. I really don't. Look, I will never fault somebody for trying to test themselves and leaving MLS. I just think they need to make sure they go to a level, especially a goalkeeper. You got to go to a level where you know you can play. Also, Matt Freese is not young. He's 28 years old, right? And sure, goalkeepers can have longer careers, but he's not very good with his feet. So he can't go anywhere where they need him to play with his feet. That's why I think it's probably going to end up being the championship. Or if he goes to the Premier League, he might just be a backup somewhere. He might just be a backup. As far as Banks goes, man, I don't know. I've sort of mentally moved on from Banks. If he comes back and wants to play for the US, then I think that's a different conversation to have. I think he's going to face some pretty stiff criticism from the fan base if he does that. But until that actually happens, I just don't really have an opinion on it, you know? All right, going to Germany game Monday, hoping for better competition than Paraguay as a neutral. Fun, man. I hope you have a blast. Ecuador can't hit water if it jumped off a boat. Yeah, it's been pretty sad. 1 goal in 3 games for Ecuador is sad. That's a sad World Cup. Oh, what was he doing there? Bro, bring on Undav at this point. They brought on Pascal Gross, but not Dennis Undav.
I think they don't care.
Undav has saved their bacon.
Oh, Ecuador? Nope.
Oh, Undav is on? Oh, yeah, he is there. Undav is there. I see him now. Probably came on during the ad break. Oh, that was... Oh, Sane. Sane's through. Oh, terrible shot. Oh, my God, Sane.
Oh, Ecuador. Again, they can't fucking score, dude. They just can't score.
Bro, they have no one to blame but themselves if they don't get out of this group. 1 goal in 3 games is pathetic.
And one of the games was Curacao.
Yeah, that's the biggest joke of all. Oh, my God. Well, they've got a corner out of it. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know Ecuador that well. Maybe you do, Tack, better than I do at least. Do they have any strikers coming up? Also, what the hell ever happened to
they
Kendry
scored.
Baez?
They scored.
Ecuador scored?
Gonzalo Plata off a corner.
Oh, Ecuador going through.
Very likely. Oh, the coach is going to get kicked out. He just ran to the stands. So what's going on here?
Oh, my God. That's an incredible finish. Plata. Well, that means Scotland are done.
Oh, yeah. Scotland has always been done.
That's confirmed. Dang. All right, goal. Ecuador could still make it through. That would be very good for CONMEBOL, because that means 4 out of 6 teams would go through from CONMEBOL. Trivia.
What a comeback.
What 2 national anthems feature battles defeating the English? So definitely the US. I want to say Scotland. No. Maybe Scotland. What's your guess, Tack?
Say it again. What's the question?
What 2 national anthems feature battles defeating the English?
US. Australia, maybe?
Australia
India?
never fought the English. They're
Did
still
India?
technically subjects of the crown. Them and
Did
Canada.
India? What about India?
No, India's is not. Because they never fought. I mean, they fought a little bit, the British, but they mostly got, like, through peaceful means. They got their independence.
I don't know. Maybe Captain Jack Sparrow's anthem. I know he's been fighting the Brits.
I'm guessing someone's saying Spain or France.
Why would they have it?
I mean, France has fought so many battles with the England over the last.
No, but they
1,000
didn't have an
years.
anthem prior?
Ghana? Oh, it's the US and Scotland. I was correct. Yeah,
Scotland,
that
okay.
feels about right. The Scots. The Scots have been fun. I'm kind of sad that Scotland's going home, because their fans have been a lot of fun. Plus, the very Scots' existence makes the English tremble with rage. That's always fun to watch.
No, Ecuador is through, dude, because 4 points. They're through.
Yeah, 4 points. If this result holds, they're definitely through. And that means Scotland's officially out. If Ecuador get through, I don't want to play them. I mean, look, guys, we're going to have to play good teams sooner than later. So, yeah, Ecuador goes through. Church of Petrol says, I can't believe Tax Ecuador pick is going to hit. Yeah, you picked Ecuador, right?
I put money on it.
Wow.
But I thought it was going to be 1-0. I mean, I'm still getting it right, but I thought it was going to be 1-0.
Yeah.
Scored 2 goals. No goals are scored by Ener Valencia.
Yeah. So Curacao are going home. They're losing 2-0 to Ivory Coast. Ecuador will get third on 4 points. Oh, they almost got another one there. Tailing tack cash out on a $50 bet, currently $152. All right, nice. That's $102 profit if this result holds.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Mexico versus Ecuador, most likely. I don't know, Tack. Is this going to be Ecuador? I thought they were potentially going to play.
No, it is. I think it is. And honestly,
Ecuador might be favorites.
I think so.
It's close. It's very close.
Ecuador is definitely better than every team Mexico's faced so far.
That's true.
And they're beating Germany, so they're getting a morale boost now.
Yeah.
Also, if you put the game in Mexico City, which is the altitude, the Ecuadorians are used to it.
Yeah. They're like, we're from Quito. So this is not a good result for South Korea either. Because the more teams that get 4 points, the worse it gets for South Korea. That's Bosnia now and Ecuador, who would have 4 points. According to current results, says Coke Zero, Ecuador play England. Yeah, we'll know more in a couple of days. This last 3 days is going to be tough because it's going to be a lot of things changing as each group starts to play out.
The funny part is I go on my tweet and I said Ecuador is going to win. You always have the Twitter experts shitting on you for whatever you say. And I mean, I wasn't 100% certain, but I was just saying, guys, it's not that crazy of a result. It's not like freaking Curacao defeating Germany.
No.
It's not that crazy. Also, consider the fact that Germany has already qualified, right? Their players are not at desperation mode. There's no sense of urgency. They're okay. They don't care that much.
Yeah.
Ener Valencia with the ball. Let me see what he's going to do here. It's going to be something stupid. Okay, he just gave the ball to the German. He's so bad, dude. Dude, he wouldn't make our roster.
No, God, no. Honestly, I would probably take Julian Hall over Ener Valencia.
Dude, he's so bad.
Musiala. Helios Barnes says, I'm not taking the cash out now. Maybe before Paraguay. Yeah, don't take it out now. The game's not over.
No. It's just that you can cash out early. So you don't get the 100% of the money, but right now you can cash out and you already profit. Like he's profiting $100 out of 50, right? So he could cash out now, but if he holds it to the very end, he makes more money. But he could also lose if Germany scores a goal in the last second, right?
That's true.
So he has to just pick how much.
I don't think Germany are going to score. I think Ecuador looks very fired up now.
I also don't think Germany cares enough, right?
No. This German team is not that good. US can beat them. I mean, look, in a one match playoff, anything can happen. But guys, Germany's still better than us. They're still better than us. This is also a game that they didn't really care about that much. They've already qualified in first. Germany's different when it's a must win.
We wouldn't be the favorites against Germany, but yes, we do have
No,
a shot.
we have a shot for sure. We always have a shot. There's no team where you're like, you don't have a shot. You might have a small chance, but you always have a chance.
I
It's
don't think
11
we
v
have.
11.
I don't think we have a shot against France.
I'd say our shot against France is 0.01%, but France would have to self-destruct, kind of.
So if we
Right?
play 100 games, we win one.
Yes. Yeah, probably. What's your Turkey prediction for tonight? I have a 1-1 draw.
We win 2-1. I think we're gonna win. Just like Mexico won, I think we're gonna win.
Okay.
That team, dude, is defeated, like Turkey. I know people are saying they're gonna play for their honor. Where the hell was their honor in the other two games? They look defeated.
Yeah. I'm
I
just
have a
worried with the amount of
feeling.
rotation we might have. If you have Berhalter and Arfsten on the field and potentially Miles, you're playing. No, I mean, you're not playing men down. With Miles, you're playing at least one man down, right? Because he can set up goals for them easily. And then
Dude,
with
Arfsten,
Arfsten,
he might be okay on offense against Turkey's B team.
yeah, he might be. But what about the defensive side of his game? That's a question, right? And then Berhalter is supposed to be protecting the back line. We have to see what the lineup looks like also. If Roldan, Berhalter, Arfsten, and Miles were all starting this game, I would not be that confident. I'd be like, I
Well,
don't think so.
Roldan is injured, right?
Yeah, he's not going to play.
Yeah, this is also true. Like Turkey, with their best players, they couldn't score against Paraguay with 10 men.
That's true.
Like, let's please remember that. And they also couldn't score on Australia. So, are they terrible? No, they're not terrible. But yes, if we rotate, we can beat them.
Oh, we definitely can. Just depends. We'll see. It's gonna be very interesting. The good thing is I don't think the good thing about rotating is everyone has a point to prove, right? Everybody on that field is going to want to start the knockout game. So everyone's going to be playing their hearts out. There's going to be no laziness in that tune. There might be a lack of quality in certain parts of the field, but I don't think there's going to be any complacency. Like Tim Weah probably wants to start against Bosnia, right? So you'd have to ball out against Turkey to even have a chance. Ricardo Pepi probably wants more minutes. Haji Wright wants more minutes. Gio Reyna wants more minutes. Austin Trusty's like, I want more minutes, So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to remember if we play mostly a rotated squad, the big difference is guys that are seen as locked in starters, they might try to avoid a card or an injury. These guys that are fighting for a spot, they're not going to go easy. Our
No.
players. Like Brendan Aronson will get a red card if he has to. He wants to show that he can play. So I think it's actually important for us to win. It'll be the first time in the history of U.S. men's national team that we win all three group stage games. I think it is important to win today.
No, I agree 100%. It's very important to win for lots of reasons. Keeping the casuals engaged, momentum, confidence, making history. We also I think that the deeper we go in this World Cup, the better case we're making for U.S. soccer to hire another top coach for the next cycle, right? Because then now JT Batson, if he wants to hire a top coach and spend the same kind of money he spent on Pochettino, he can point to the results at the World Cup and say, this is what happens when we get a top coach, right? So the better this team does at the World Cup, the more likely we are to get another top coach. Also, top coaches will be more interested in a team that has a realistic chance at a deep run.
Pete, I'm going to go here because I'm going to record a quick short once this game's over. So I'm just going to get everything set up. 2 more minutes to go. Looks like Ecuador will advance. I'll see you tonight at 9, right?
I'll see you guys tonight. So we're going live at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the
9, right? The game's at 10 Eastern time, right?
The game's at 10? I thought it was at 9.
No, the game is at 10.
Oh, you're right.
Eastern.
It's at 10. Yeah. So we're going live at 9, which is 6 for me. Yeah.
Yes. I'll see you there.
Perfect.
Bye.
All right. See ya. I've asked Jack. We want an Avengers live stream. You two, Deadball, Lads Footy / Asada. Find a maple syrup streamer. World Cup CONCACAF stream. Please. There is no maple... there's no Canadian streamer. We already lost Josh. Right now, probably not going to do a CONCACAF council, guys. With doing all the live streams that we do, right? And then we still have to do the previews and other videos. I personally am probably not going to do a CONCACAF council just because we don't have a Canadian representative. We have US and Mexico. That's Jack and like me. But then we don't have one for Canada. So, and nobody else is going to be there, right? From CONCACAF. It's just going to be us three. So, potentially, maybe we'll see, guys. The schedule is very tight. Like tomorrow, we'll be up late tonight. Then tomorrow I get up, I do the Patreon video. I'm also going to work on a group stage roundup that I'm going to bring Adam for, potentially. Then the next day, I have to start working on the Bosnia preview while also still doing live streams. So the workload is very tight. Neither Tack nor I can really take on much more work right now. But maybe in the future, that could be a fun CONCACAF, maybe before Nations League or something. Josh is no longer working in covering soccer. I know he went to One Soccer for a while, but then I think after that, he kind of quit. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's not available. Our Panama correspondent was not available. So maybe in Nations League, guys. Maybe in Nations League. All right, there's 7 minutes left here, guys. 7 minutes. JD is Jamaican. Jamaica's not even in the World Cup. Rabona TV can do Canada. Is he Canadian? Rabona TV? He might be Canadian. He's a little harder to get because he's a much bigger YouTuber than us. Yeah, maybe for Nations League, guys. Maybe for Nations League, we'll look at bringing back the CONCACAF Council. But right now, during this World Cup, it's going to be the schedule is very tight. I don't have time to do more videos than I'm already doing. Is Group F going to play today? Yes, Group F is at 4. Yeah, JD was great. He was funny. Whenever Jamaica's involved, it's always fun to bring on JD. Germany don't really look like they're going to score. It looks like Ecuador is winning this. And as I say this, I probably jinx them. Cross, Ecuador clears it, and then they double clear it. Can they get it out of their own half? What is Germany doing? All the way back to Neuer. Someone saying, bro, what club does Pete support? Technically, I'm a Man United fan in Europe. And for MLS, Chicago Fire. In USL, Orange County SC. But Chicago's been a disaster for so long, and now they have Greg Berhalter. Orange County, honestly, is probably the team that I support the most right now. I have a lot of fun at their games. It's USL. It does feel more like ground up driven, very community focused. So I would say probably Orange County FC, SC. In Europe, Man United. It's been a rough 10 years to be a Man United fan. All right. Helios Barnes says, shitting my pants. Are you an Ecuador fan or are you a Germany fan? Germany's definitely trying now, but they've got 4 minutes. We got a Charleston Battery fan. We got a Sacramento Republic fan. I didn't know we had so many USL fans in the chat. Germany have 3 minutes to find a goal here. Can Ecuador hold on to help them qualify for the knockouts? We got a Phoenix Rising fan. We got another Charleston Battery fan. Do we face Ecuador then? No. We're still slated to face Bosnia. We got a Crew and Riverhounds fan. We got a Hearts of Pine fan. Portland Hearts of Pine. Isn't that in Maine? That's in Maine, right? We got Atletico Dallas fan. Road. We got a TST team fan. Union Omaha. We got Dothan United, USL 2. We got Miami FC. Damn, we got a lot of USL representation in the chat. Y'all should invite the Straight Red Card crew. Yeah, we frequently collab with Derek and Brett at Straight Red. Well, I've gone to theirs many times. They've come to ours many times. Yeah, we love those guys. Probably going to do a collab with them again soon. Sacramento Republic, St. Louis City. That's an MLS team. Not USL, but I'm a Huntsville City FC fan. I like Liga MX, FC Juarez, and USL El Paso Locomotive, Diego Luna's club. Ecuador have the ball. They've got a minute left. Roughly. Just over a minute. Oh, that's a foul. Ecuador are going to take their sweet, sweet time with this free kick. If I'm Ecuador, I don't dump this in the box. I keep possession on this one. Pass it around and try to kill the game off. New Mexico United. We have New Mexico United also. So it's currently 2-1. Ecuador are beating Germany 2-1. And Ivory Coast are beating Curacao 2-0, as expected. Do not dump this in the box. Keep possession, Ecuador. All right, Ivory Coast is done. So they get second in their group with 6 points. They are equal with Germany on points, but they did lose to Germany, so they lose the head-to-head battle. And as it stands, barring a surprise in the last minute here, Ecuador will... Oh, it's over. Ecuador get out of the group with 6 points, with 4 points. Despite a terrible start, they managed to get the win against Germany, and they will very likely, 99%, be in the knockout round. This makes it tough for Scotland now, because Scotland are out. They're going home. All right, guys. I will see you all tonight for the Turkey game. We'll be live then. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you all tonight. Oh, hit the like button before you go.